Don't ask what's in my cup. Hey, it's Yay. Hey, it's Yay. Hello, everyone. It's Yay. Back with another episode of Don't Ask What's in My Cup. And today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I'm starting this theme for startup businesses and like people that are trying to do their own small businesses and things like that. And so I'm going to be interviewing a few different people. But before I get into that, stop what you're doing, press that subscribe button. Also make sure you follow me on social media at Sippin' with Yay. That's Sippin' no G-Y-E. Let's get into it. So today we have a wonderful special guest. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. So if you can tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hi everyone, my name is Umazi and I am a music video director, producer, and creative director. Right now my 9 to 5 is I work in the media sphere within the digital in their digital team as a producer. However, my passion and my goal in life is to solidify myself as a music video director, a full-time music video director, producer, and creative director. So that's me.
And then I'll put her social media in the comments so you can go ahead and follow her.
Yes.
Okay, let's get into it. So what was your journey like when you first started? How it all started?
My journey has been like a very interesting one because I have explored all facets of like the creative world in one way or another. I have been an actress, I have been a playwright, I have written, not a playwright. I have written one play that was like shown back in Kenya, back in the day. I started when I was very young. I was winning art competitions, drawing. I used to play classical piano. I'm a dancer. I have danced before. So I have really explored all, I had a fashion house. I've explored all facets within like the creative world. And I came to realize that my talent and my passion is that I have a good eye and a good ear. That means that I may not be the best classical pianist, but I do have a great ear that can tell you what to do and how to arrange things. I may not be the best videographer, but I have a great eye and I can direct you and tell you what to do, and I can tell you how to mix the colors and everything because I see things differently and I hear things differently. And so with that, then music, I was able to settle down and try and focus on music video production, not just only music video production but other creative video types of productions, from like I don't know what you'd call Beyonce's style of but that like docu-film music niche thing, like fashion ads, commercials and stuff. So like things within the creative realm, I want to focus on that. And so that's how I ended up here, because I realized that avenue combines everything that I can do and love and I have done in the past.
Yeah, like that creative niche. Like, okay. You could just point it out, like, that's it. And I think that's a skill, honestly, because some people don't have that. A lot of people are like, they need more direction. And so they need that like vision to come to life and things like that. So that is definitely a skill and definitely a talent. So,
yeah,
I'm glad you're getting into that.
Yes.
What was some of the challenges that you feel like you faced with like switching and like going through your journey?
One thing I always learn is that across the board, a lot of people don't take the art seriously. Literally, I think that has been my biggest challenge. People don't see the labor behind creating stuff. People just expect that everybody can dance. No, not everyone can dance. And the way you dance in a club is not the way we dance on stage. Like there is labor to that. There's rehearsals that go into that. The same thing with music video production. The pre-production process is intense. If you want your video to come out good, you have to do a storyboard. You have to come up with the looks. You have to see the colors, So it is a lot of labor and a lot of work. And my biggest challenge has been getting people or being around people who respect that labor and will, compensate you at the level that you deserve, has been my biggest issue.
Yes. I feel like a lot of like small Black businesses have that problem of like people actually compensating for the labor part. So I do think that is like a huge thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing all over. Honestly, like people just feel like they could get a lot of free things, especially if you're not like up there, if you haven't really made it.
Right, you're rising, so like it's both of our favors.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm just like, no, this favors are not paying my bills, Like,
this is my job. Like
I know. Sometimes I feel like, okay, I could at least pay the base and then I'm gonna go above and beyond for you,
Right.
I feel like that's a better negotiation for somebody if, like, let's say you're an upcoming business and I'm also like, I'm not like directing Beyonce's videos yet, but but you see, like, let's say you want an ad for your business, right? Then I will say, all right, you could pay me the base pay, but then I'll go above and beyond for you. Like, I think that's a fair negotiation, rather than you just being like, oh, can you do it for free? And then I'm going to give you some merchandise and stuff. No, because I may not want some of your merchandise. So I just think that it's not a bad thing to try and negotiate with another business so that both of you can, like, advance yourselves. However, I think it's unfair to expect the other business to come out completely out of pocket for your advantage and you're not giving them anything that is equal in return. So yeah,
I feel that that's valid. Well, with that negotiating and things of that nature, shifting a little bit back to the motivational part of it, because I know the challenges can become a little bit more discouraging. So I'm curious of what was like that moment when you realized like, this is what I want to do, or like, this is where I should be right now.
So first thing is, I hate working for anybody. I love working for myself. I don't get me wrong. I'm grateful to my job. I love the company I work with. I love my boss. I appreciate everything. But ever since I've been small, I knew I was never going to work for anybody. In fact, I was so sure that by the time I leave college, my business was going to be popping and I will never have to work for anybody. But life had other plans. So my biggest motivator is like, one, I just want to be independent. I want to do things on my own time, wake up on my own time, and just, And then the second thing for me is the fact that you can work X amount of hours. Like, for instance, when it comes to your own, like a 9 to 5, right? You have a cap on how many hours you can work a week and in terms of your salary. And it can only go so much higher unless you're like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. But then when you own your own business, there's no limit to how many sales you can make in a day, in a year, in a month. There's no limit. That number is unlimitless. So I think that's the other thing for me that motivates me, is because I personally think that I'm in a position to impact a lot of people financially, not only in the United States, but also where I'm from, in Kenya. And I think that, I've just learned over the years, especially when it comes to the Kenyan landscape, and even here in the US, when I want to do my own initiatives, my social projects, I want to have my own money. So some of my biggest motivation is, I'm still very philanthropic. I don't want to say I'm a philanthropist because I just don't give out money. I rather set up the initiative, go in, talk to the people, understand what are their needs, and work with them to come up with the solution, and I fund the solution. I don't want anybody else's money, because I have had to beg for money for different not ventures, but for different causes and everything, and people always want to shift and change the cause so that it could fit their agenda, taking away from the, from what the essence of the cause is. So that is my third biggest motivation, is like, I just want to make money to, I want to change a couple things in Kenya. I want to influence a couple systems out here in the US. I feel like there are a lot of missed opportunities because funds are not being gotten to the people that they need to be gotten to. I'm not a shy investor. I'm somebody who, even if I lose money by building a community center that will impact kids and people, that I don't mind, because I know that money is going to come to me someday, somehow, in one way, shape, or form. So I'm not really pressed for that. And so, but then I still need to eat. I'm still a bougie girl. I still like my bougie things. I like my nails done. So I need to make a lot of money, to be able to live that life and support things that I want to support, that I think are important to me. So those are my three biggest motivators. Yeah.
I love that, especially like using money as a tool. I cannot preach that enough. Like, I want to make money so that I can spend it. Like, I don't want to just sit on it. I want to, like, all right, I got all this money, now I could just give it to something that is needed.
Exactly. I feel like I can fund so many schools, public schools. I can renovate so many schools. I can, I feel like it's not expensive. If you really think about it, if you have $1 million, you could do a lot with $1 million, it's just outrageous how like the world shifts and views, such an amount. For instance, $1 million, even just $500,000, I can fund hundreds of schools in Kenya and pay the tuition and the salaries of the teachers and everything, and renovate the schools for like years, just off that amount. So, and I know $500,000 is a lot of money, but for me, I don't think of it as a lot of money, because I'm really trying to be a billionaire. I'm trying to, like, Elon Musk is who? Come on.
Period.
Who's
Period.
that?
Claim it. All right.
That?
Just claim
okay.
it. Speak it.
Okay. It's mine, So, I feel like, and at that level, I feel like I will have a level of authority when it comes to pushing certain things, certain policies. For instance, like in my country, Kenya, the backlash and the backlog when I was running I Am Kenyan, which was an initiative that I faced, just one mere being a girl, getting assaulted in the process, and all the things that happened to me. And I'm just like, hold up, y'all are not about to play with me, because I know my worth. And it's unfortunate that the only way you'll see my worth is if I come with a chain behind me. So guess what?
Money talk, baby. Money talk.
Right? And so I already understand what the game is, and I'm like, if this the game, I'm gonna play the game and still achieve and accomplish what I wanna do. So yeah.
Did you have a New Year's resolution for this year when it comes to your business, or do you have any like big goals, like within like a 3 to 5 year radius?
Yeah, I have many goals. My first and foremost, my New Year's, it's not, I don't want to say a resolution, but my focal point of manifestation. So this was the same. I have been throwing this manifestation out there since last year, but I understand with like the COVID and everything, it just makes everything a little bit more complicated. But I'm still putting it out there that I'm going to be on Meg Thee Stallion's creative team. As part of her creative team, from the either as a producer or creative director or both. So that is my biggest goal, and I'm putting it out there. I'm doing everything. I'm on Clubhouse trying to connect with people and just see where it goes on the internet. I'm trying to produce my own content and my own stuff to build my resume. And I'm also working with other artists, other independent artists here and there, just to also continue building my resume and sharpening my skills. That's one. The second is, I do want my net worth. Well, it's not a net because I still have student loans, so it's still a gross worth. I want to increase my gross worth and, definitely up my investment portfolio and just my money by, at least 30 to 50%. And but then in the next 3 to 5 years, I personally would like to have already established myself as a full-time music video producer and creative director, and have my own initiatives here and there in Kenya. My friend has a company, a skincare company called Elite Shea, that she asked me to partner with her. So in the next 3 to 5 years as well, I foresee that being a staple in my income bracket as well. So those are my three big main goals for now and the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Come on, moves. Okay, I feel like I believe in you. I already know. Knowing you personally, I know you hungry. I know you a go-getter. So the first step is speaking it, and the second step is believing it, and the third is everything gonna fall in line.
I already see it. I already see myself twerking with Meg Thee Stallion, my little booty. Like, I already see it. Okay, so I know it's gonna happen, and I'm not worried about that happening. I just feel like personally I have to deal with some personal things in my life which probably are blocking those blessings, because I know those blessings have been written for me. Every day I feel it in my spirit. I know it's coming, but it's just certain things that I need to work on. First of all, I need to work on my spending habits, like
budget. You have to budget.
I know. So I have been budgeting, but not just fake budgeting, But now this year, I feel like I'm really being a lot more intentional with my budgeting, and also just trying to clear the path for the future by healing and accepting different traumas from my childhood and teenagehood and young adulthood, and just recognizing how they have impacted some of my decision making skills, and trying to learn from that, heal from that, solidify my mental health, and and I feel like once all that is taken care of, the blessings just won't stop pouring.
Budgeting is probably easier than healing, but I do feel like both of those are very important, especially when going towards like the bigger picture. It's like, okay, I could ball out and get my hair, my nails, and everything else done right now, or I could go get these dollar compressos for now and try to figure out, you gotta really do it. Like,
yeah, but you're right. I can't be changing my nails every 2 weeks, like, oh, this one's out, running to the nail shop. No, use that glue. So it's just being very, a lot more efficient for that. And also for me now, I'm separating one thing that I feel like is going to work for me a lot this coming budget year is separating my subscription and bills from my spending account, and creating a whole nother account for that where I put enough money just to cover that, so that I know exactly how much I have to spend, because I have the issue of spending money that I think I have that I don't have because of that. You know how like the balance before things settle and and all of that, and you think, no, that has been my biggest downfall. So I really want to correct that habit and just make it,
definitely separating. And also, I know one of my favorite practices, I pay myself first. If I can't play until I know how much I need for everything else, and then whatever I have remaining is what I got to play with. So
I used to do that too, and then all of a sudden a subscription pulls up and you're like, damn, I do forget that I pay Amazon.
Yeah, you ain't got time to play when you're trying to make big moves. You can't play around.
For real. Sheesh. I'm just like, damn, it really does get harder, but it's like more satisfying, I could say.
Yeah, because you're working towards something that's going to happen and like pay itself off. So
exactly. And I want, my grandmother built the way she set the legacy for my mom, and then my mom took that legacy attached now. That's why I'm here. I want to continue building that, so exactly, so that, because if you really think about like the white community or like all these other communities, the Asian community, Chinese community, if you look at how they build their wealth, and how they literally live it to their children, I feel like a lot more times us within the Black community, we're like, it's almost ashamed for like your parents to help you out. You know, it's sort of like, oh, that,
Right. We so
yeah,
pride,
yeah, for
like
what?
proud,
But
like
then, like, yeah, like white kids, like especially kids who are from affluent communities, they get onto all the Ivy Leagues because their parents just went there, because their parents donated money, because they're, why are we like, we can create these leeways for our kids as well, you know? Like, we should not be ashamed to feel like, oh, I want to get all this money so that my kids don't have to work. They can just slide into the company and be good for life. You know, that doesn't mean I'm spoiling them, I'm making them like not appreciate things. You have to, those are things that you have to teach in your own way, and fine. But there's nothing wrong in my child knowing that they could go to school, get good grades, and they don't have to struggle to get a job because they got a job at, you know, at my company. And if they want to do, you know, of course they'll have to work hard and they can get fired. It's not like, you know, but at least they have that option.
I definitely feel that. I think a lot of times us as Black people are like, I need to be independent. I want to be my own self, and like, I got this. And it's like, no, like, I really do appreciate like my mom setting the tone for me and like making sure that, like, you know, I started this, we gonna keep it going. Like, I like that because honestly, we don't got a lot of history. Like, we don't have it. We are the history. We gotta make it because our history was lost long times ago. So this is our tree and this is our story. So I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Do you have any advice you will give someone that like maybe hesitant to start, or like maybe ready to transition but don't really feel confident in it and things like that?
Honestly, I could tell you there's no formula. There's no one formula except you believing in yourself. I pray a lot. I'm very spiritual, you know, so pray to your higher being, the universe, God, whatever, you know, entity you believe in, or however you want to call them. But I pray to God a lot. I put a lot of faith and energy in that. I also take time for your mental health, and just be kind to yourself, because when you start a business, like, you can set extremely high goals, and let me tell you, what you plan to do is not what you going, is not what will always happen. You know, you will always be just slapped on the other end, and you're like, oh my God, I did not see that coming. But be kind to yourself when things like that happen. You know, be kind to yourself. Find your things that can help you reset. You know, maybe it's a bath every week. Maybe it's like, you know, meditation or something, because you always need to reset, because you will always be on your toes. And then I would say the most important thing is get dirty. You need to know every part of your business. For instance, as a creative director, I may not be the best videographer, but I can handle a camera, I can handle lights, I can handle Photoshop. I can do basic Photoshop. I can do basic video editing, Premiere. I already know the basic foundations of all the aspects needed to make my business or my career you know, perfect, or like not perfect, but to make that are needed for to achieve a product, right? So that even when I bring other people on board and they try and play me, I'm like, bro, don't even try me, because I already know how this works, you know. Or like, so you need to understand every aspect of your business from A to Z, how it starts and how it ends into a product or a service. Like, you need to understand every aspect. So, and that the only way you do that is you getting dirty. You have to get dirty. Like, a lot of people think that they can just sit on their desk and just start a cute little business. You're gonna have to get dirty. Even social media influencers, they start by following and unfollowing everybody, by spamming people. That's them getting dirty. So just remember that nothing comes easy, but it's worth it. Always have a nice little savings plan. I personally don't advise people to just quit and start a business. Like, have a saving plan, have a plan that will allow you to be able to pay at least 6 months of rent when you start your business, because the reality is you should not expect to make any money within the first 6 months, like real money, break even. Like a lot of business, the average business starts breaking even in 18 months. That's on average. You could be ahead, your time could be like shorter, your time could be longer. It really is just up there. So just make sure you have a plan to eat your food, even though it means that you're not gonna be eating lobster, you're gonna eat beans, but at least you're eating food. Yeah.
So I like that. I like that. Thank you, Umazi. Do you have any questions for me? Anything you would like to know? If you want to try to give me a brief interview, I am semi up to it.
Yeah, so like with your business, for instance, I'm taking that Sipping with Ye is your business, right? So what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
So, my current challenge, I feel like, with starting my YouTube, Don't Ask What's in My Cup, Sipping with Ye, is really trying to find my niche. Like, I don't want to just be trending because I'm doing what's trending right now. Like, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. And I'm very passionate about, like, broad things like love and people. And it's just like, okay, how can I make that like my niche, and how can I sell it, and like how can I get the engagement that I want from figuring that out. And so that is really where I'm like struggling right now. Like, I know I like talking to people, so like I want to do interviews, but it's like, okay, I have to step out my comfort zone and reach out to people and be comfortable with being like, hey, I want to interview you, and like setting it up and not getting in my head about all the self-doubts or the what ifs and all of those things. And I think that is like one of my hardest things, is like, I know what I want. It's just saying it out loud and like putting it into action without thinking about failing is what I feel like is my biggest challenge right about now.
I would say to find out your niche, look at like your videos and see the topics that did the best, and then run with that for a little bit. If that doesn't work out, then you could see what topics did second best, and then run with that a little bit, and then that should help you narrow it down. And like when you run with these topics or these little niches, like for a little bit over a period of time, within that time you'll know whether it is for you or not. You can start with love. I mean, February is the month of love, so maybe February you do love, right? If you're not rocking with it, you're not feeling it, then switch to March, Women's Month. It's Women's History Month. Switch to March, do a couple series and episodes on women issues. If that's not rocking with you, if you're like, just keep on playing around with it like that until you get your niche. And it will come. As I said, it's taken me 25 years to figure out that I actually want to be a music video director and producer, So it's not something that, especially in the creative world, in the entertainment world, it's very easy for you to do everything because you love everything, because you're creative at the end of the day. But the more you play around with stuff for a good duration of time, then you'll be able to know, okay, what is working for you, what is working for your audience. Is this an audience that is engaging? Maybe what you want to do is not resonating that well with the audience. So how can you get them where they at and then bring them into the fold of what you want to do? So those are some of the things that you can play around with it.
Yeah, I know that's something that I actually am thinking about, is doing like a monthly theme. So like this is going to be like small businesses and startups, and then I want to think about maybe February being love month and things like that, and talk about relationships, because I know that is something that I know from my like personal life. People lean on me in that type of element of like building relationships and like managing relationships and things like that. So I know that is a strength of mine, but it's just like embracing that strength and things like that.
Girl, believe it, speak it, own it. For real.
Own it. Yeah. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if it's just how I don't know where we got this notion of it being bad to just be like, yo, I am a beast, you know, like, and feeling comfortable in that and not feeling like you're being prideful. I don't know who told us to be always humble, because it's a universal thing. It's really a big universal thing. I don't know where that notion came, but own it.
And I mean, I get being humble, but humble doesn't mean I'm not going to do it because I don't want to blow up. And I think sometimes I get in the mindset of like, you know, I got to stay humble. I got to stay humble. But it's like, okay, you are humble because you're thinking about being humble. But however, you still got to, hey, I am who I am also.
I think humble is the wrong word. I think instead of us saying I need to stay humble, I need to stay grounded. I think grounded is a better word, because when you say humble, it like takes away the fact that you can praise yourself. You can be like, yo, I am a bad music video director. You cannot tell me otherwise. I am a beast. I look at a lot of music videos that are out there by A-list celebrities, and I'm like, give me that budget. Give me that budget. I will get you a like MTV VMA. Like, you know, I will get you, because I'm that good. And I believe that I'm that good. And I know I'm that good. However, I do stay grounded. You know, I do things. I meditate. I pray. I burn my incense just to help me remember where I've come from and where I want to go. I think that's the right word of like staying grounded, so that you don't get up. It doesn't get to your head. It doesn't get up and over your head. You're always just remembering who to thank, where you came from, the people who came before you, you know, honoring your ancestors. Because if they did not fight to end slavery, if they did not fight for their rights, the civil rights, if they did not fight colonialism in Kenya, you know, I'm here. I'm privileged because the African American ancestors on this soil worked so that me as a black woman from Kenya can come and make an income in the US. You know, the same way that my ancestors in Kenya, they fought colonialism so that me as a black woman in Kenya can also have the freedom and flexibility to leave Kenya and work in the United States, and vice versa. So just always remembering that, nah, you did not get here by yourself. You definitely,
It's beyond me.
It's beyond you. Exactly. That will always help you stay grounded. So I think humbling, like, oh, staying humble, nah, I think that's the wrong word. Stay grounded. No, I don't. I'm glad. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor and pleasure talking to you. You're such a little wise girl ever since college, and I was your RA. You've always been like so wise. So I'm just happy to see how, you know, you're sharing your wisdom with others, and, you know, I'm excited for this platform, and I can't wait to see what you do with it and where it goes.
Thank you for even being willing to talk to me, because I know, like I said, you going up and onward. So I'm like, let me catch her tail before she go. Let me just catch her real quick before she go up and beyond. Love your energy, especially when you are in your art and in your creative mind. It's consuming. It's very engaging, and I don't know, it's like spirit, like that spiritual part is like that connection is there. You're not just Umazi anymore. You're a representation of like your ancestors and things like that, and you make yourself vulnerable in your art, and I love that. And like, I hope to even try to give that same energy to other people, and like when I do the work that I need to do, I hope that they gain that same presence when I'm doing what I'm doing. So thank you. Thank you so much, Umazi, for just taking the time to like talk to little old me and like, you know, give us some of your wisdom and some of your gems, because I needed it. I know I needed it. I know other people needed to hear it too. So, you know, thank you for that. Do you want to do one more shameless plug for your creative direct? I already know you got a video, so I'm going to go ahead and let you plug that real quick.
Yes, thank you, Naya, for having me. I'm so glad to be here. My name, once again, my name is Umazi. I'm a music video director, producer, and creative director. However, I'm not just limited to music video production. I do all sorts of production. And yes, as Naya mentioned, I do have a video out. My latest project out is called Hellenistic, and it's on YouTube by myself and a very good artist called T Money. And so please check it out. Give us some love, give us some views. And also follow me on Instagram at _Umazi_. On Twitter is I have no idea what my Twitter is, but just Google Umazi, you're gonna find me.
Google her. Did you hear it? But yes, also all these links will be in the comments, so feel free to search them when you can. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on social media at Sippin' with Ye. That's Sippin' No GYE. Thank you all for your time, and go forward, shed love, shed light, and don't ask what's in my cup.